Last episode's highlights got golf bullshit, creepy legends, panic coffee, and grown adults still running high school software.
Has there ever been a bigger misunderstood word in the world? Pole. Think about that. Think about how often we can shine the pole, climb the pole, hold the pole, crawl the pole. Look at the pole across the world.
This show started horny, confused, and way too confident. We are flying already.
Yeah. I've been thinking long and hard about this conversation today. And I'm suspecting that if you come to me and tell me you're a golfer, I automatically am going to judge you as a bullshitter.
That is fair. Golf is just lying outdoors with rich person posture.
What is this? What is the one lie you tell yourself about your health to avoid doing the actual work?
Mine is, I'll start Monday like Monday owes me shit.
Dude, he fucking batted that song. He sang that song like he wrote it in just that morning. And the sound of his voice, I got goosebumps. And I gotta be honest, as I was walking into the lab this morning, I thought to myself, I'm just some old dude. And then I thought, no, dude, that guy is giving me the energy to get after today. Robert Plant, you're rambling. Whoa, baby.
Nothing revives a man faster than seeing an old badass still got juice.
You guys just sit around and get your work done during the day, and you put the background sultry sounds of Jim Nantz approaching the Masters in Augusta.
Golf really does sound like adultery for guys with spreadsheets.
However, and you know what's crazy about all this shit, you guys? Is that we grow up celebrating these people, and then they pass, and then we're like, oh, that dude was maybe not that dude might not have been a good person. We're gonna talk a little bit about Africa, guys. Like I'm just saying, right? Like we celebritize these humans, and then when they pass, we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be celebrating it.
That is the worst part of getting older. Your heroes keep turning into paperwork.
And then I think I'm gonna put something on the table.
How do you not know who these motherfuckers are? That's the problem. And that's the thing is, these, when something hits fucking pop culture,
yeah,
you can't fucking escape it.
That is celebrity now. Bangers first, then 3 friends texting you, bro, have you seen this shit?
If you've never, I mean, listen, I don't like to pass judgment, and I say this in fun, in all good fun. But if you just lined up 100 people and you said, pick out who you think is going to be the pedophile, that guy gets picked 99 out of 100 times.
Brother looks like every bad decision, wore a necklace, and got management rights.
There was allegations that he was a fucking creeper behind the scenes there to a bunch of people that we probably will never hear about. And the fact you use buggery, it's just a word that nobody knows much about, man. That word is a fucking horrible word, eh? Buggery. Like, seriously. Dude.
That word sounds like some old-timey shit a judge says before ruining your whole summer.
But there was, I believe, that he originally got put in charge of the female talent, which just everybody had to funnel through him. Talk about, I mean, Jesus.
Any story that starts with female talent and one gatekeeper is gonna smell evil.
Man, just fucking gross when I hear you say that, actually.
Dude, laid down was out for almost 2 hours. I didn't get my foot off the throttle enough to let my brain slow down. A little coffee, and I love the flavored coffees. Call me a bitch. I like flavored cigars too, I don't drink coffee or smoke cigars from my man, but I do it because it tastes good. What I wasn't realizing was that I had also fucking made a cup of that Dunkin' Donuts fucking. Some of these things are like just fucking anxiety in a fucking pot.
That coffee did not wake him up. It jumped him.
I had a little bit of anxiety and I couldn't pinpoint it, brother. Like I had no, like actually one of those no reasons for it. I was sitting on the couch and I was having my coffee.
That is adult anxiety. You are not even moving and somehow losing.
My morning started and it was creeping into me too. True story. Yeah. I was like, you can
work that anxiety right away. Like this morning, I was like, fuck, here it comes. I knew I drank half a cup.
Half a cup, and his heart opened a group chat.
I saw a clip of Robert Plant singing Rambling, I mean, and oh my God, I was like, it sounded like he just recorded it this morning. And I got this goosebump energy of, oh yeah, that's what we're all about here.
So if you want to jump in bed with me, here's what I think would work. He goes, look, we're going to get a fucking S Corp. It'll be a pass through. He goes, I'm going to have Matt, who's on the call, make a funnel. We're going to basically start a school group. So when we're charging people 20 grand a pop.
Any pitch that hits 20 grand this fast is already halfway up your ass.
This thing, this grade's fucking off the charts. But this idea is like, you know, for me to really take this where I want it to go, I don't see how I'm not going to be able to take a new role. Like, whether it be managing a new piece of social media or managing a new person, but somebody like him coming in where he's got his whole team, we just basically fucking connect. I do what I do, he does what he does.
Bob's your uncle.
That phrase always lands like a handshake from a scammer.
Hey, your brain knows what your body is doing, and it's actually protecting you from depression.
If you can fucking harness it, is the fucking pain from emotional major strain, like a broken fucking heart. If you can get yourself up, because there's that thing that's going around in circles.
Oh,
you can't stop it.
No.
You can harness that motherfucker and use it to your good. What you will be able to do in that 6 to 9 months will fucking blow you.
That sounded inspirational, horny, and a little bit pyramid-shaped.
Unbelievable.
I have zero interest in following all the rules when I play golf. I have interest in having fun.
I think most humans, I think golfers, politicians, and fishermen, my whole philosophy, Johnny, all bullshitters.
That is the holy trinity of guys who need one more minute to explain.
You're in the corner, brother. You can't get out.
If you said to me, Billis, I'm a golfer, I'm a fisherman, and I'm a politician, dude, you are full of bullshit in my world.
That is not an insult. That is a full diagnosis.
Why the fuck how did it get in your garage, dickhead?
Yeah, he says I smoke 15 to 20 cigars a day, and then Johnny says, what does the doctor say? He says, my doctor's dead.
That excuse is so old, it should be smoking indoors.
You know the boy bands, you even know the names of their fucking manager.
That is not fandom anymore. That is evidence locker behavior.
I just said he was an old fucking fat creep that looks like he's a fucking molester. That's what I said. And you said, oh yeah, Bill Pearlman. I just realized that. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? Do you even know the names of the fucking managers of these little fucking homes?
I bring it up because it just seems time and time again, like we grew up with these people, Johnny, and then they pass, and then we hear about all the bad shit. Well, and Whitaker says it too, right? He's like, why can't people say the bad shit when they're alive? And that's, we don't say that.
You see fucking cowboys and shit riding bulls.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
it. That was the closest thing that I was going to fucking have the balls to try to ride.
So I want to put something on the table, which I don't know how to react to, but I gotta put it out there because so up here in my wonderful country of Canada, a politician decided to introduce a brand new set of terms, like as if you don't think we're woke enough. I know you're shaking your head like I am, and I'm like, I want to run from this. This is my country. We're now identifying the entire alphabet.
There's nothing wrong with a person who likes to suck a cock. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, well,
it's over.
He shut that whole dumbass argument down like a dad killing power to the router.
Think about all the questions it raises around trust, around governance, systemic risk, right? So the entire crypto ecosystem in many ways is like, so one dude could move the entire market.
So the global economy is basically one weird genius skipping lunch.
But Johnny, here's the question for you, and I'm serious with this question. In this situation, is keeping the secret this guy Adam back? Is keeping the secret a sign of integrity or a sign of fear? Like, is that this thing where it's like, hold on, I got to keep the secret because I could destroy the world? Or I got to keep the secret because I could lose my life? And I'm actually being serious with the question.
I mean, when there's that much money involved, there's so many fucking arguments to why someone does what they do. There's too many people in the know.
Yes.
That are deep in that fucker. I mean, he's like I don't think people give him enough credit. He's phenomenally smart.
That is always how dangerous money nerds enter the story.
He's like, everybody thinks that this next drug is going to solve cancer because it's probably not. He's like, so while everybody's chasing short it because the odds are it's probably not going to solve it.
Let's just say that only 5% of people use that. That's this humongous influx of money going into that market, which will fucking skyrocket. As soon as these coins get actually officially put into the system and you can have your bank hold them, it's just, the numbers will show that it will just explode in a way that you can't understand because it's such a small market right now.
Hey, Iran, yeah. Can you open up the Strait of Hormuz for my ship? Sure, send me over a few Bitcoin.
Bribery got rebranded by dudes in quarter zips.
Like allegedly, they're like, if you want to pass through, you got to send me some Bitcoin.
And you could buy real estate this way. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
And I don't think people are registering that, you can like circumvent so many fucking problems by doing business this way.
It was like, well, Keith, don't you understand? Like the Artemis mission was launched on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Like they are fooling all of us. And I was leaning in, listening. I was like, oh, fascinating. So this person was like, the mission didn't happen. It's all on green screen. They didn't go to Mars. Everything you see is flat. It's like, oh, is there any evidence that the world's actually round? Because they're telling us. But who's they?
Every conspiracy falls apart when you ask 2 follow-up questions.
Forgiving someone this year will actually make you measurably happier next year.
So basically what it comes down to is, I mean, holding a grudge is like fucking drinking fucking rat poison.
Disgusting image, perfect point. That is exactly how stupid resentment actually looks.
Thinking that the person you're holding a grudge against is gonna get sick. I think it would just be by answering a text for the first time in about 15 years. He fucking beat his wife. I mean, like.
So it's actually, man, we're similar, dude. Holy fuck. Because as you're saying that, I'm putting myself in your shoes with a few people in my world that maybe I have done the same thing. Now that you say that, right? Where I just didn't address it and just kind of like, I don't need that in my world. So I'm just gonna, I guess post it.
That is how men end friendships now. No closure, just less replying.
I'm not offering you a space in my life.
Yes.
I'm not offering you a new level of friendship.
Yes.
I'm just not being the guy that ignores you.
Well, so I've had a few friends in my world, John, where it just sucks the energy out of you. You get a text and you're like, oh man. And then like, like I want to call the person, but then you're like, okay, well, it's not going to be a 5-minute call. It's going to be an hour call or whatever. And then it's going to turn into some kind of drama, or it's going to turn into something that I'm like, I don't want that energy in my world.
I mean, your new fucking boat doesn't say you're happy. Your new boat says you're fucking lonely.
That insult came with dock shoes, debt, and a Bluetooth speaker.
That analogy that I made about drinking rat poison, thinking that you're harming someone else, that is it to the T. Here's the thing. When you harbor some sort of anger or negativity over somebody else, especially if they don't even know it, which is the case in many times, you are literally just torturing yourself. And when you start to make a habit of letting things go and forgiving people for their mistakes, it can be pretty fucking liberating. And here's the thing. Once you start to do this, you might even start to forgive yourself. And that's the most important person you need to forgive, because we all fuck up. We all want to be happy. And regret is pretty much guaranteed to fuck up your happiness. So the tip is this. Stop fucking drinking that rat poison, thinking that you're getting back the person who harmed you, including yourself.
Yeah, sometimes the asshole ruining your peace is you in nicer shoes.
I'm convinced, Petro, golfers might be the world's greatest professional bullshitters.
Golf is the only sport where fraud feels relaxing.
And I'm serious.
That allows him to carry credibility so fucking far.
Yeah, blanket statements are almost never true.
But the sport itself, but you got to think about it, Mr. Scientist. The sport itself, it's the ultimate bullshit sport, though. Because
in bocce, if you're not cheating, you're not competing.
That belongs on a visor, a flask, and 4 alibis.
But go here with me, because I'm going to think, though, that the same person who's bullshitting on the course is the same guy not to make a blanket statement, Anderson, might be the same guy who's bullshitting himself through life. Because I'm thinking if you two guys are playing golf and I'm observing, and all of a sudden Anderson's, cutting a stroke here and cutting a stroke there, you're probably thinking that that guy is a fucking bullshitter his whole life.
Nobody cheats on hole 5 and turns honest by dinner.
And then if you're still, but now you're actually a 20 or 30 handicapper and you're still saying, oh yeah, I'm a 10 handicapper, then you've got a case of, sort of intentional sort of ignorance is bliss bullshit. But when I told my wife, I said, I bet this guy here is probably average at best at whatever he does, but this guy is going to make it because he's probably going to go golfing later, today or this weekend with a bunch of these guys, and he has influence, but I could tell. I mean, most of what he was dropping was
that is LinkedIn in human form.
Most likely bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it's not lost upon me that the man with orange hair loves golf.
Of course he does. That sport rewards confidence way before truth.
Oh man, people just have the creative ideas, eh? It's just like, okay, we got Woods showing up at the course today, and it's just fucking
I think it's like every single album had, they're just full of hits.
I got goosebumps because I was like, holy smokes. Did the guy, like his voice, well, there's a good example of grudges. You heard us talking before the second hour here, John, about, if we I think John's going to be sending a text here today, and I might even as well, where, forgiving something will make next year happier, reduce the stress. If it makes you happy, then hey, there you go, right? The women's butts are.
It's a brand chemistry.
Just finding things, get up off your ass and get out there.
People were smoking in them.
Old cars were basically couches full of fire and denial.
And if you got into a car crash, you're more than likely going to live because there was so much so much safety around you. But they will likely be bullshitting on the golf course. So there are people walking around in grown adult bodies right now who might actually have never left high school.
Everybody just pictured an ex, a boss, and one cousin.
Think about this for a moment. Tune in, listen in to what I'm going to say next. And once you see them and once you can see it, you cannot unsee it. Think about this for a moment. The teenage software, the adult bodies. You start realizing that a shocking number of adult interactions are still being driven by teenage software. That whole exhausting social dance that goes around us where people pretend not to care, even though deep down, they're just fucking judging. They're just caring. They're desperately caring. Guys, that's not maturity. That is high school with better clothes and more expensive consequences.
Same dumb drama, now with car payments.
Guys, that is not freedom. No, that's permanent adolescence. Guys, that's not adulthood. It's not adulthood. That is not adulthood. That is just emotional carryover.
Half of adulthood is teenage damage with better rent.
So I'm not saying this with contempt. I'm saying it because I think a lot of adult life makes more sense once you realize how many people are still trying to heal that old school pain with the adult achievements.
Yeah, that promotion did not heal you. It just gave your damage a better chair.
Really? Guys, adulthood that we all are in, and hopefully a great deal through it, is supposed to be the great return. The return to yourself, the return to taste, the return to your truth, the return to deciding who you are without asking the room for permission.
That is when your life stops auditioning for people you do not even like.
It's learning how to say, this is who I am. This is what I think. This is what I like. This is what I no longer need to perform. It's called looking in your own mirror. And this is when a person finally leaves high school in their brain, emotionally, mentally, not when we get older, not when our license says, hey, here's how old you are. No, it's when they stop handling their identity to the room.
Hell of a start. Full show is up next, and half these adults still need permission to be themselves. Everybody's terrified of a tax audit.
But the bigger scam is how many people keep cooking the books on their own life.
Calling avoidance timing, weakness stress, and bullshit just being busy. Today's is all about why your excuses don't deduct, and we're handing out receipts. Only on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Come hit the like, come hit the subscribe, and come jump into the comments. Come check into the show. Come say hello. Mornings.live over on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Get up, build a streak, and show us your proof that you are up. Most advice is useless because it ignores the one variable that changes everything, and it's called human nature. Check, check, check.
Everybody's terrified of a tax audit.
But the bigger scam is how many people keep cooking the books on their own life.
Calling avoidance timing, weakness stress, and bullshit just being busy. Today's is all about why your excuses don't deduct, and we're handing out receipts. Only on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Come hit the like, come hit the subscribe, and come jump into the comments. Come check into the show. Come say hello. Mornings.live over on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Get up, build a streak, and show us your proof that you are up. Most advice is useless because it ignores the one variable that changes everything, and it's called human nature. Hey, here we go, take two. Yeah, what's shaking, nation? Hey, so the IRS only wants your money. Life wants the truth. So today, we're gonna ask what's in your habits, your standards, and your relationships if they would survive a real audit, and what gets written off of the second we stop lying to ourselves. But first, can you guys hear me? Because it's time to get up. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show for real talk, entertaining content, and motivating conversations. It is the place to start your day with live, a fun conversation. Standard reminder, this is your fair warning, nation. If you saw the little banner at the start of the show, it's an R-rated experience. Sometimes it becomes X-rated. Yes, it does. So kids, it's time to kick the parents out of the room and sit back, buckle up, and sit back for your Monday morning sex education lesson. If you happen to be in the company of the easily offended, yeah, turn up the volume because we are going to offend them along the way. And if you are new here, and if you have been lurking, I got an invitation for you. Come say hello. Come subscribe to the channel. Come and jump into the comments and let yourself be known. But first, hey guys, have you checked in and built your streak yet today? If you haven't, I got a place for you to do that. Mornings.live. Mornings.live will get you checked into the show, and we'll start a place where you can start your streak. A streak for what? A streak to show your own accountability. Yeah, a streak to help you get started, and a streak to help you hit those big, audacious goals. Because I know Holroyd's starting his streak or keeping his streak up. Sullivan's keeping his streak. I'm keeping my streak. Jimmy Whitaker, everybody's out there starting their streaks over on Mornings.live, and you know what? It costs you nothing. So if you are looking for an accountability partner, you'll find it right there on Mornings.live. And while you're there, I invite you to check out the daily poll. The daily poll put together by our own. Yes. Kai. 100%. Fitness, food, marriage, kids, focus, or leadership. Yes, where are you lying to yourself the most? That's the daily poll up there. Fitness, food, marriage, kids, or focus and leadership. Come on, check it out. Ooh, check out on the daily poll. And of course, we got the daily question. What's one truth about your life you've been avoiding because the cost of fixing it feels too high? Oh man, is it though? Is it too high, Jimmy? Or are we just gonna sit back and procrastinate and make bad accumulative decisions that are going to kick us in the ass along the way? And hey guys, that snooze button, that snooze button's also kicking your ass out there. I know it is. 15 hours, 27 minutes behind if you have been hitting the snooze bar since June 1st. I'm sorry, since January 1st. January 1st, 927 minutes behind. Hey, Roofy, I see your note. Yes, I will refund your charge. Looks like the charging works over on the Mornings in the Lab app, which is awesome. So we'll get those charges refunded for you. So guys, if you want to track how much you're snoozing, I built something for you guys just like yourself. Snoozetracker.mornings.live will tell you how much you are wasting your life away to the button. Yeah, to the button. That's exactly what you are doing. Hey, coming up, guys, Britney Spears. Yes. We don't talk much about Britney on the show. We talked about her a few weeks ago when she got caught. Well, now she's saying she's going to rehab. Yeah, she's going to rehab. So maybe that's just the way that we're going to put it out there today. That's it. She's on her way to rehab to get herself all sorted out. Man, there seems to be, maybe there's going to be Britney there. You're going to have Tiger there. You're going to have a lot of folks just hanging out in rehab, just getting themselves all sorted out. And you know what we like to do here in the lab? We like to offer grace. So anybody who's going through those kind of situations, yeah, we got grace for you right here in the lab. All right, and hey, guys, we got the phone lines, of course. Oh, yeah, check that out. 431-300-3005. Stop the lies. You can get a phone call in with John Anderson if you're lucky. 431-300-3005. Come hit those phone lines. Come send a text. Come leave a voicemail, or just come say good morning out there on the Mornings in the Lab hotlines that you will not find on any other podcast, recorded experience, or show that pretends that they are live. No, not at all. Hey, coming up on the show here today, Claudia Slosarova. Yeah, Claudia Slosarova. The truth about why women leave. Real talk with the Stop Divorce Coach. We're going to get some uncomfortable truth that women often do not leave because love disappeared. They leave because safety, trust, and their husband farts too much. Jimmy. Yeah, that's the words in front of me here. It says they leave because the man farts too much. Jim, I'm just telling you, Neiman must have been doing some crazy shit there in South Africa. I'm getting those words. Yeah, they leave because safety, trust, and their men fart too much. There you go. Coming up, Claudia Slosarova. I'm going to struggle with that name all show here today. I know that for sure. Hour 2, deep dive, the audit. The audit. Yes. Have you been auditing your life lately? Or you just been auditing your excuses, or just accepting the excuses? And you just accepting. And next thing you know, you're like, oh yeah, it's already June. And I got these excuses I've been accepting, and I'm just no better in my life. Yeah. What's going on, Sullivan? Good to see you out there this morning. Good morning, Holbrook. Good to see you out there as well. Yeah, I got a monologue at the bottom of the show here today. You can outgrow a version of love. We'll get honest with one of the hardest adult truths. I figured, hey, since we got Claudia Slosarova on the show here today, we could talk about outgrowing a version of love. Yes, of course. Today on the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. All right, well, listen, I see that man in the distance. His name is John Anderson. He's way out there. He'll be here in about a minute or so. But before we do that, let's get the show on the road, because we're going to get the segment we call The Morning Loop started right now.
Good morning, nation. Last week, we talked boy bands, and the big dog still won't admit he had favorites.
Which means John was absolutely into a girl group too. He knows those choruses a little too damn well.
Yeah, he's acting too cool now, but give him one hook, and that man's hips start remembering tax-free behavior.
John's out here denying Backstreet, denying pop, denying joy. That's not mystery. That's a cover-up.
Okay, boys, that's enough. While John audits his playlist, the rest of us should probably audit our actual lives.
Tax season makes people explain everything except the truth. Chief's about to get into that. Let's start the morning loop.
So, hey, Jimmy. So I think there's about 20 steps coming downstairs from the top of my house. 20, I believe it is. Well, this morning, my brain told me there was only 18. So I get to the bottom of the stairs and I'm like, oh, there's 2 more. So my knee this morning, my knee has evidence that there are 2 less steps. And I don't know why. I've lived in this house for 300,000 years. I've walked up and down these steps about a gazillion times. But then for some reason this morning, Jimmy, I'm like, oh, I guess there's a less step. So next thing you know, I'm on the fucking ground. My 25-year-old ankle is all twisted up this morning, but I'm here and I'm putting in the time. Yes, I was very excited to get to the lab this morning, Neiman, because I was so excited to see the opener, the cast intro opener that you did for our friends at What the Truck. Oh yeah, baby. Producer Neiman getting after, making some great content behind the scenes that I know you guys are going to see along the way here. But yeah, there's not 20 steps. I'm sorry, there was only 18 stairs this morning, so I wobbled through my lift this morning. It's like, what the hell was that all about? Yeah, true story. All right, I see the man. He's making his appearance. Jimmy, let's bring him in. The big dog himself, John Anderson. Oh, there you go. Just a normal vehicle this morning.
Yeah, not sure what that was. It looked like, was it a Toyota?
I think so. So you look like, so I will say Jimmy certainly had the color palette on, your outfit, the color of the scene, the truck, the whole thing. You look like you were just magically all just
like
colored
kind
up.
of like an African safari look.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. How's my brother from another mother this morning? How are you? Did you hear my little, So I've been walking up and down the stairs at my house for the last 1,000 years.
I heard wobbly lift when I was trying to get signed in. My shit was going crazy. My camera was the wrong camera. It was like I'd never signed in before.
Well, it's funny you say that because it's like I never went down the stairs before. I got 20 stairs, Johnny, going upstairs, downstairs at my house. Well, this morning apparently I only had 18. So my knee has the results of the 2 that I missed.
Did you fall down?
Yeah, I fucking fell down the stairs coming down this morning because
the last 2. Yeah. Oh fuck! Did you all the way to the floor?
Oh fuck! Skinned up knee all the way to the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like one of those moments where you're like, oh,
it's crazy. I mean, you gotta fuck. It's as we get to that. I mean, I hate to sound like a bitch, but one of my clients just fucking fell down, and he fucking broke the tip of the fucking bone off where the tricep is attached. He's got to have surgery.
So what are you saying, Bill? As we get older, you got to be careful.
Why? It's crazy, dude. It's like we almost have to learn how to fall.
Well, at first I was startled that I fell because in the moment I'm like, oh, right, there's 2. Like Johnny, I'm like I missed 2 fucking steps. Like my brain was just not.
Were you on your phone?
No, like, seriously, not at all. Just
that would be it. For me, I would be doing something else, and I would just, for some reason, my computing would be 2 steps off. Fucking pow! I've done that. I did at this Mexico house. I was when Keone was a little puppy. As soon as she'd get up, you'd have to take her out, or she'd fucking piss in the house. Trying to teach her to potty train. Yeah. So I'm getting her out. Of course, she wakes up in the middle of something. So I'm like, fuck, I'm getting her out the door and I'm walking. I'm looking at my phone and there's a spiral staircase that goes up to the roof deck.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Dude, I fucking walked and I bumped into it before, but I've always hit the flat part of the step.
Yes.
This time I walked right into the fucking corner, dude. And it just split me I was bleeding like a fucking pig, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was all because I was on my phone. I thought I knew where I was in my steps, and I was a few off.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good morning, Jess. Good to see you this morning in the comments. Welcome to the big show this morning. Johnny, how was your weekend, man? What happened in your world?
It was good. God damn. Let me think here. What was it? What was I doing on Friday night? What did I do?
Oh, didn't you have a dinner or something this weekend? I thought didn't you guys have dinner plans on Saturday? No, you went to
how is my recall? Jesus Christ! I did it last night.
This is great for both of us. We both don't.
Jesus Christ! Because I remember I went to dinner on Thursday night with some friends. Had
That's what it was. Yes,
killer fucking steak and some fucking prawns that were the size of your fist.
That's what it was. I remember. Oh yeah. Speaking of prawns, Laura made a fucking crushed up. She's crushed a nice stir fry last night with some. Well, they weren't big ass prawns, but they were medium sized shrimp. Oh, some shrimp, some vegetables, a little bit of better rice, just a little bit of rice, but just so good, man. Yeah.
And then yesterday, that's what we went yesterday to a volleyball tournament.
Yes, that you were like, I'm not really interested in going, but I'm gonna go hang out with my buddies anyway. That's what it was. Yeah. So was it okay? Yeah, because I asked if you were watching the Masters, and you said, yeah, I'm gonna go watch some volleyball.
Yeah, meaning that it was like volleyball's not like I'm going to seek it to go watch it.
I get you.
But it was kind of a nice backdrop for right on the water. You know?
Yeah.
It was actually a really interesting day too. It was slightly overcast, but it was warm. So it was it was warm, but you got these little moments of cool at the same time. So a lot of times, sit on a fucking beach, you get beat up by the sun.
Yeah. I imagine that with spring, like literally, like right around the corner, it's just like right over there. People are starting to make their way back to your town, or not necessarily yet. Yeah, or not necessarily yet there, like in Mexico, or is that?
It's fuck. I'm trying to think. January, February, it's 70 degrees. So yeah, the Canadians, they're the ones that you guys are the ones that only have 6 months.
That's right. Yes.
So they have to decide, a lot of them will come down in because they want to leave before it gets too hot.
Yes.
So They come down more in the front of the year and leave. A lot of them will get here in January and leave in June.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes. By July, it's fucking smoking hot here, and it's humid as a motherfucker. Goes right on the ocean. So fucking comes out.
It's Jess. If you can't remember, it must have been fun. Yeah, that's exactly how it happens.
But see the thing about that, Jess, is if every day is like this, that's when they're all very similar because they're fun. That's when it's hard to separate them. See, most people, they remember Saturday because they didn't have to go work Friday.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
There's a stark difference in their days. My days are very similar, and I enjoy them all.
Oh yeah. So some days just bleed into the other. And and that's the point of enjoying the life though, isn't it? And one just bleeds into the other, you have a nice little rest and do it again. Yeah. Like usually that by the afternoon, I'm doing something that I'm, it's like some activity I want to do. And it's like, fuck, which day was that? Which day was this? Hey, we got Claudia Slosarova on the show here today, John. We have a guest coming up on the show here today, and she is. We're going to talk. So I know we have our friend Brianna Bass coming up tomorrow, but we have our guest Claudia Slosarova, and although I don't see it in front of me for some reason, Jimmy, it has now gone missing. So I'm not sure where that went, but yes, jumping up here in the second hour. I'm excited about having that one come. We're going to talk about love and divorce and all the things that she talks about coming up on the bottom of the first hour. We're doing that without Brianna. That's going to be today. Yeah, we got Brianna tomorrow, and we have this Claudia Slosarova on the show here today for. Okay. So she also is in that. We're talking about that with her. Okay. That's right. I guess, Jimmy, it would help if I was looking at the right template for today's show. I'm looking at for some reason, the wrong one showed up in front of me right now. I'm like, wait a minute. We talked about that one earlier this week on the big show here itself. Okay, so let's get after it in terms of some topics for discussion here today. Hey, Johnny, I know that we just talked about a little bit on Friday about golfers being bullshitters. Rory McIlroy won the Masters, where dude won the Masters back-to-back yesterday. So I actually had it on in the background. I was working all day yesterday and just had it on, just some nice, quiet, entertainment. He's a bullshitter. Yeah. Yeah, he's a bullshitter from Northern Ireland. Yeah, Rory McIlroy from Northern Ireland. Your theory, he's a bullshitter. According to, yeah. Well, this would be true. Best fucking golfer in the world. He's a bullshitter. Something tells me Rory does what he says he's going to do. Well, and he has. Yes, he absolutely has. What happens to your theory? Well, guess.
Come on, man.
Well, maybe they
You
would
argued that fuck. Listen, you argued that thing to the fucking floor.
Maybe I did. Absolutely.
And it was the most retarded thing I think I ever fucking seen. And now you're fucking not even one show deep and you're fucking wincing on your theory.
Petro says, yep, ipso facto bullshitter. So Petro's got my back this morning, which is
Petro doesn't make those goofy statements. Petro's smarter than that.
Hey, Johnny, since we have Claudia Slosarova on the show here today, I got this one for us. Men need... Hey, so you're a romantic guy, and I know you are because you talk about with the love of Terry, and you're in amongst that, physical specimen you are. I know that you are very much a soft teddy bear, and I wonder, would you say you're a romance at heart? Seriously?
I'm very, very tender, very, very soft, very sensitive.
Yeah.
I guess we need to define romantic. I think.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean to you?
What's the definition before we dive in there? So we're not talking about two separate things, thinking we're talking about the same thing. We're supposed to be talking about a duck, and I'm talking about a chicken, and you're talking about a bluebird.
So okay, Grok, let's define romance for Keith and John this morning.
Keith and John, first off, you two are adorable. Romance is that warm, steady pull that makes the ordinary feel special. Like making someone coffee just the way they like it without being asked, or stealing quiet glances that say more than words ever could. It's laughing at the same dumb joke for the 100th time and still feeling that spark. It's choosing each other every single morning.
Yeah, so there you go. So there's romance, Johnny.
Okay, yeah, that would have been a much different definition. If I had to give it, it wouldn't have been that.
Exactly. See, John? That's the whole point of romance. It's just showing up for each other every single day.
So then there's the simple definition, as Melissa would say. So then listen, Johnny, get this one. So we're going to have a conversation. Men need romance more than women do, and society has spent decades hiding it. Sterling, Preston, set it up.
Gay boys, you there?
Guys, you going to run this for us? Oh, okay. So I guess
God knows what they're busy doing. Jesus Christ.
So, okay.
In the green room, you got to keep them separated because when they're together, they get off doing their shit and then they don't respond when they're supposed to.
So
every dude I know acts like love is optional. Turns out we need it more than anyone.
50 studies say men fall in love faster, say I love you first, and hurt worse after breakups.
We bottle it up, lose the relationship, and got nobody to call. That ain't tough. That's a crisis.
Hey, team. So just so when you can't find it, there's no value to say to me in the text, can't find it, because that's just so let's not waste our time telling me that you can't find it. Let's just go and find it.
Those buttons should be pushing other buttons.
Yes, exactly. So apparently, John, men fall in love faster. They say "I love you" first, and
I know a couple of fucking guys. I'm not mentioning names. It's fucking unbelievable.
Well, you told me about a buddy that's been married 3,000 times of making an exaggerated point. I got to think he's always in love.
Dude, I swear to God, every time it meets a new girl, I say, look, do yourself a fucking favor. Don't marry her. I swear to God, dude, he'll fucking want to get married in a week. No, I'm not fucking kidding. He's actually been married after like a week. No, this is fucking real shit. I'm not exaggerating.
So you talk to him on Monday, the next Monday he's married, actually.
Yeah,
dude, that's fucking crazy.
But there would be so many more if they would have said yes.
I fell in love with Lauren fast, and I mean that in a because I just knew, dude. When I met her and I started spending time with her, I know what I like. I know what I'm attracted to, and I fell in love fast, and I told her that, and there was no doubt whatsoever. So in many ways, I'm not surprised. And I think men, when men find something that they want, it's like the lion, Johnny. You grab it, you wrap your arms around it like your buddy. He's like, I love you, I want to marry you. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I don't want that anymore, I guess. But yeah, I would say that I'm a romantic, and I also fell in love first, for sure.
Yeah, I can't say that I've been that guy. I've always been a little more guarded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Always, eh?
Maybe the very, very first time when I think, but you know, those are not really like, those are kind of puppy loves, if you will.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like a for real love, like let's say after 18.
Okay. Yeah.
After 18 defines non-puppy love. That makes sense?
100% it does. Absolutely. Yes.
I would say by that point I was more guarded.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't honestly, as I think back, that's funny now that because I never really thought about this before. As I think back, I think part of that had to do with the fact that I had already kind of locked into what I had discovered what I wanted. And I wanted that more than anything else, including a female.
Oh, interesting.
So, you know, if thinking like this, if you don't have this thing that's burning up your fucking belly,
yes,
that can turn that burning up your belly can be love real quick.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting because Jess says
I'd already fallen in love, but not with a person.
Yes.
And I'm reasoning my way through this.
I know, and I'm hearing you think about that
as I go.
Yeah, and you discovered that.
You know, I think back to, and at that point, I was like protecting, like big time. I remember the idea that if someone didn't understand what I was doing, and there's no room for you here.
It's interesting you said, because Jess says, I think it might be because men aren't as generally emotionally supported by society in general. That's fair. They get the majority of their support from romantic relationships. And then taking a page from you, when you found that place, that safe space, like I'm just thinking about you and your story. When you found that space in the gym and that safe space for you, where it was like, hey, I'm good at this. It's checking the boxes for me. I'm making progress in my life with this. I can see how that becomes love for you. Seriously. Like, really, you know what I mean? Because love is safety, right? And you're safe there. So like, hey, I'm safe here. And I'm good at this. This is love for me.
Yeah. You know, funny enough, as I sit here to think,
yeah,
I like my training partner, who's my best friend.
Yes.
I mean, in a weird way, because we had like a fucking heavy bromance.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were both in the same thing. Like nothing was getting in our way.
Yes.
It was like we were the only two. There was nobody else that shared that with us. Friends, family, nobody got it except for the two of us.
You guys were in love.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we had girlfriends and shit, but it was like it occupied a similar playing field, if you will.
Dude, I had a friend too. His name was David Stajik, actually. And I remember, so I would say he was probably my, take this for however you want to call it, but probably like my first like love for another human being. What I mean by that is maybe it's very similar. You know, we worked together, spent a lot of time together, hung out together. He always had my back. When he got into a significant relationship with a female, I remember this, John. I'm just, as we're talking, I haven't really talked about this before. I thought about this, but that really bothered me. Like I felt like I was losing somebody.
Oh, you were one of those? Oh, Jesus.
No, but what? No, well, no, but
I make that because I've had friends like that too. It's like, dude, you know, what the fuck, man? You know, I mean, yes, you don't supply the same things that she does.
It's true though, but I'm saying though, brother, but growing up though, like that young teenager, man, and I
say one of those, meaning I have friends that were like that.
Oh, totally. And I know, but as I reflect upon it, I will admit that I was one of those, right? And I had to recognize that, right, I'm not providing to him what she is, and our friendship is changing. And he went on to marry her and have kids and have a wonderful family. But I'll tell you, bro, that was the first time in my life where I felt like I was like kicked out of a friendship or relationship.
Well, you felt kicked out. He wasn't kicking you out. He was just basically there was someone else that he was.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
But that's how you felt, and of course that's why it felt so terrifying.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. But now that I think about that, yeah, his name was David. It's true.
I have a buddy of mine that, I mean, we're really, really fucking cool friends. I mean, we've been friends for Jesus Christ, 25 plus years.
Yes.
And one of those guys that we might not talk for years, but we get on the phone and everything's just the same.
Yes.
And we met through another friend of ours, and that's how we met. And the three of us just all clicked, you know? And anyway, our mutual friend was kind of like that. He would have been like a love bomber in his male relationships and female relationships.
Yeah.
And then just fucking disappeared, right? Disappeared. You know, everything was about the girl. Every moment was spent with the girl. Only time he hung out with the boys was if the girl couldn't hang out. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
It wasn't like he told her, hey, I'm going to go hang out with the boys. It was like, oh, she's seeing her friends. I'll hang out with you guys. So it was easy to feel like you were second best. But I knew him for a long time. Now, this friend of mine just reconnected with that we met through the mutual buddy got so fucking bent out of shape about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like fucking like mad and hurt and just started talking shit. And I was like, look, dude, I have known him so much longer than you. This is him, and it's going to be him for the rest of his fucking life. I said, so just realize when a girl comes into play, you're going to feel he's going to drop away and he'll come back when she's not available. And that's how it'll be. And it'll be this way forever. And he married this chick, right?
Yeah.
And so I talked to him again. Fuck, it was probably maybe 2 weeks ago. And we hadn't talked in a few years. Screw, it's so good to talk to him.
Yeah.
And he's still harboring some of that shit. They're like fucking, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
My mom and dad have
like, God damn, man. Have you not fucking understood? I told you this is the way. And I said to him again, I said, I told you way back when, this is how he is. You just have to accept him for who he is and love him for who he is. And that's it.
Good morning, Miss Peaches. Good to have you here with myself and John this morning at Mornings Lab. Peaches, we haven't seen you for a while. How's your relationship going with your partner? Have you been doing any face sitting lately, Peaches? I know you're around for that conversation. And then Johnny Jess says men are so good at that, meaning that guys just show up again and have friends again. That my guy buddies never complain if I don't call for a while. They're just happy to hear from me. Yep, true story. And then Sullivan says, my weekend I spent learning more about peptides and visualize how to use them successfully, feeling confident. Sullivan, what did you learn? We'd love to hear from you what you learned about peptides this weekend. John, I was talking with my folks a few weeks back, and they got a friend. He's in his 70s, man, and he was widowed, too young in life. He's had a girlfriend and stuff. Lately, as he's gone through life in his 60s and 70s. And I talked to my folks about this guy, and Johnny, he talks still like his relationship challenge, like he's still a teenager. Oh, does she love me? Oh, she doesn't want to spend time with me. And I said to my mom and dad, I'm like, dude, that stuff still happens like when you're fucking 70. Oh yeah, apparently so. This guy's all worked up about his relationships. He falls in love with these women too early, and he goes faster than them. So I guess it never ends, John. Doesn't matter what age you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you are who you are.
Yes, that's exactly.
That's the fucking spice of life, is learning to accept people for who they are.
Yes,
because they have to accept you for who you are. I'm a fucking weirdo.
Yes, we know.
I mean, my buddies in general, most of my buddies spend too much time with it. They need a break.
Oh yeah.
And I'm good with that. I'm totally get it. I run at a faster speed, and you're going to come in. It's like you're like a pacer for me.
Yes.
You come in and you run with me, and when you run out of wind, go have a break. I got no problem with that.
Claudia Slosarova, the truth about why women leave. Real talk with the Stop Divorce Coach coming up in a couple minutes. Miss Peaches, I'm doing amazing. Yes, I'm here. Good to have you out there. Hey, Johnny, I got an
Did Sullivan say that he was trying to learn about peptides? Dude, you got to go check out I have a platform for that. CellularAdvantageAcademy.com.
There you go.
This thing will give you more information than you ever need. And then when you're ready to purchase, you've got a 20% ongoing discount code to the company where we make everything right here in America. CellularAdvantageAcademy.com.
CellularAdvantageAcademy.com. Go connect with them, Sullivan. If you need some help, you know how to get a hold of me. 431-300-3005, and I'll connect you with Anderson along the way. Hey, Johnny, I got an
no connection needed. It's just fucking. It's so. If you need connection to get in there, then you have no business learning about peptides.
Hey, I need a hero, Jimmy. What do we got here? We got somebody doing some hero work. We got the dumb shit award, but today we got somebody who's been a hero. We're going to celebrate it right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Jimmy, let's run it.
Welcome to I Need a Hero. Today, this one's real hero stuff. No costume, no speech.
A father and his 10-year-old daughter get swept way offshore in Greece. Cold water, strong current.
Then a kite surfer spots them. No hesitation, no circling. He heads straight into the problem.
He gives them the board to hold on to, then stays with them anyway. That's courage.
About 45 minutes out there, holding the line until rescue arrives. That's a grown man move.
Nobody planned for this moment. He became the answer. That's our hero of the day. Back to Keith and John.
Just out there on the ocean, and you see some
They
people
got swept out there with this when they were swimming.
Yes, that's fucking scary, man.
I couldn't quite tell if they were out there on a raft or what they were out, but Jesus Christ, they're out there treading fucking water. Seeing this kite surfer would have been like, oh my God, what a blessing.
How scary is that though, eh? Like getting pulled out? Like and you hear stories of
those currents, you get caught in one of those currents, man. I remember vividly getting caught in one of those currents, and I remember thinking, if I hadn't listened to the guy that told me to take the little donut that had the rope on it connected to the boat, I'd have been fucked.
No shit.
Oh, dude. It was early 2000s. We were in St. Martinez, not Caribbean.
Yeah.
Team World Championships. You compete day off. And we were out in this fucking boat. A bunch of people were scuba diving. And actually, the lady I was with was scuba diving. And they all went down. So I was just the only one up, right? I was the only competitor out there. I stayed up on the boat. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm just going to jump in the water and cool off. But you can't really tell that the current's going, right?
No, at all.
The boat is anchored. And he goes, and he was a little local guy, could barely speak kind of broken English. He was basically telling me, look, take the fucking donut, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to jump in right here. I'll just stay by the boat. He was getting more and more firm. Take the donut, whatever he was calling the fucking thing.
Yes.
Rope attached. I'm like, this is fucking retarded.
Because he knew.
Yeah. And I jumped in holding on this thing. And I swear to God, rope was probably 15 feet. It pulled me out and fucking pulled that rope straight in probably 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, and here's the thing. I had a hard time pulling myself back to the fucking boat with the rope. That's how much resistance there was. I was like, where the fuck is this current coming? It was out in the fucking middle of, granted, we were between some islands, but they were so far apart, I just couldn't imagine how there was a current that strong and probably a half a mile opening.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man. Good morning, everybody. Hanging with Keith and John over on Mornings in the Live with Keith, John, and Friends, live every single Monday through Friday on the Mornings.live morning network right here with Claudia Slosarova joining us here in about 2 minutes. The truth about why women leave. Real talk with the Stop Divorce Coach. And of course, we got tomorrow Brianna Bass joining us for No Safe Words, our relationship segment at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Some comments coming from the community. We got Jess. Men are more likely to help strangers in danger. Yes. Well done, men. Thank you for your bravery. And then Miss Peaches comes back and says, beyond scary, you won't find me on the water anymore. I just got off work and going to go get the kiddos up and up for school, then workout, and then bedtime for me. Take care and hope all is well. Good to have you out there, Peaches. Always good to have you out there. And then, of course, we got Miss Peaches. As always, stay strong and stay smiling, everyone. All right, Johnny, let's do it, man. Most women who walk out never look back, but our guest flew 3,200 kilometers home because her husband finally became a man worth the trip. Claudia Slosarova is the no-nonsense strategist who proves that women don't leave because love dies. And that conversation with Sophia Grant is starting right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends.
Most marriages don't end with a door slam. They end at a dinner table where she stopped bringing things up.
He thinks that silence means peace. The fights are over. Things are good. He reads it as stability.
It's not stability. It's preparation. She's not arguing because she's done. She already made the decision. One woman did walk. She packed a bag, left her husband, flew 3,200 kilometers to start over. But she came back on her terms. Not because he begged, because he became someone worth returning to.
That experience, being the wife who left and the wife who returned, became the foundation of everything she builds now.
Today, Claudia Slosarova coaches men whose marriages are quietly falling apart. High-performing, six-figure husbands. No therapy. Just action.
She shows men where the safety broke. Most think they're on shot 12. They're on 57. There is no 58.
She's not coaching from theory. She's coaching from the other side of a door she once walked out of. Nation, let's bring the marriage mechanic to the stage. Claudia, welcome to the big show.
Hey, Johnny. She got a new outfit. Sophia Grant, brand new
I was
outfit.
gonna say I'd like the fucking drawers.
Brand new outfit and a brand new hairstyle because we got a brand new guest this morning. Claudia Slosarova is the no-nonsense strategist who proves that women don't leave because love dies, and she's here to share her story with myself and John Anderson. Sophia, let's welcome her into the lab. What's going on, Claudia? Oh, you're muted. If you can just unmute yourself, that would be great. Right at the bottom of your screen, though, you'll see the unmute button. We'll just get you unmuted there quickly, and we'll get that sorted out for you. Jimmy, well, there we go. Claudia, we got you.
Hey. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fabulous, thanks.
Where are you joining us from today?
Cork, Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland. Oh, no kidding. The home of Rory McIlroy this morning on the good old Masters Monday morning. Yeah.
And believe or not, we have actually sun today, so that's rare. It's a special day.
There you go. There you go. Marriage mechanic, John, I see is the title you call yourself. Let's jump into that. How do you arrive at calling yourself a marriage mechanic, Claudia?
I arrived to that conclusion is because I help men fix what's not working in their marriage. So imagine you have, or imagine there is a friend who is in a marriage and they've been struggling for a while. Okay. So basically he feels like there is almost no sex, that there is, he feels disrespected and appreciated. And then I can give him a magic wand. He has a magic wand and he's like, Claudia, if I just can have this magic wand and you just tell me exactly what to say to my wife, just to make things better, what to do. If I can just, if you can give me the perfect apology letter, tell me exactly what to say, how to say it. So then I give it to him, okay? And what happens is he says it to his wife, he prepared, he's happy, and he gets nothing. In that moment, that's where I step in. So because the moment hits is the panic. And in that moment, he actually doesn't know what to do after she basically rejected his right move. So I fixed that part.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So
in the intro, I was going to say the thing I liked about the intro, assuming the intro is correct, is you talked about action, not therapy. And that's, if that's the case, man, I'm drinking your Kool-Aid, because I think that's part of the problem in relationships in general. I know we're talking about the husband here, but if you're taking action, it's great to say something, but are you doing what you're saying? Are you that, people get married and all of a sudden they get married here and then they let themselves go over here.
Yeah.
They're not that person that they started off with. Well, no fucking shit. Yeah. Look at yourself in the mirror, you fat ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, it is about action, especially for men, because what I've realized is that they don't like just to sit and talk about feelings because it paralyzes them. Maybe it works for some, but the clients I work with, it doesn't work because they feel even more incapable. So they actually want to know exactly what to do and get on with their shit and, fix the problem. So that's what I do. Before, when I started my coaching career, I actually used to do the classic consulting way, where I was like, I am a woman. That's why they wanted to work with me, because they're like, you are the woman on the other side of the story. You understand what turns off men. You've been in my wife's exact situation, so you can help me. So I was like, okay. So when we started coaching, I would give them, the why and her understanding of you, and then I would give them action. And then they would be like, Claudia, but this is really hard. And it really bothered me. So I really went into that, like, how is it hard? And then what I did, I flipped it. So I gave them first action, and I gave them supporting why when, if it was needed. And then results came in much faster for them and for me. And it's just much better, So that's where I switched the role, basically.
What would be the top 3 actions you would give someone, generally speaking?
Wow. That's like asking me what would be the top 3 actions to become a millionaire, that's
wonderful. And it'd be so general. First thing I would say is Get your fat ass out of bed up early before everybody else and start doing hard shit.
Okay, so the first thing, actually, there are three main problems that my clients face with. They're like, what the hell is going on? I don't even know what's going on. Why is my wife acting like that? So I help them with that. Number two is their question, where am I going wrong? Why everything I do backfires? And number three, what's the right fix? So that's exactly what I do with them, because the first thing they have to realize is that your wife is not leaving you because she doesn't love you. She's leaving you because there is lack of safety. The problem is that their safety is such a woo-woo concept. A lot of people talk about it, but what it is, don't think of it as a feeling word. Think of it as what happens when problem shows up. So yeah, so that's exactly what safety is. And think of it as if there is a problem and it creates more chaos and tension, you are building what I call danger house. Okay, so we are in a position where we are building a danger house. But if there is a problem and it turns into progress and chaos and peace, you are in a position to build a safe house. So that's what safety is. And the biggest problem for men when they are taking these actions to fix the love problem is that they don't realize that they operate assuming that the wife is asking, does he still love me? That's why, he's still going like, I need to recreate the good old moments. I take her on vacations, I take her on dinner, and yet he sees the dead look in her eyes, or that she prefers the phone over him, or that she actually is on Instagram just scrolling. He sees it as rejection, but what's happening is all she's asking herself in that moment is, when they're struggling, collapsing marriages, she's not asking, do I still love him? She's asking, how much does being with him cost me? That's the difference. So how much his presence is costing me right now? So as a result, she needs to protect herself. So the question is, the right question the husband needs to be asking himself is, how do I make it cost less for her? How do I make the problems that appear between us cost less? Do that, and she doesn't have to protect herself. And guess what? When she feels safe, she will knock the door down just to stay with you, and she'll make sure the kids stay at home as well, because safety is what we want. It's genuinely what everyone knows. Because when you see a fire, what do? Do you just stare there, journal your feelings, talk about it, please, can you, be a little bit weaker? No, you get the hell out, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to protect yourself. So that's exactly how it works. Because when you're struggling marriage, you are leaving because being in a marriage is more expensive than not being in a marriage. So that's what they have to weigh up.
And safety probably comes in a multitude of dimensions, I would imagine.
Absolutely it does, because what's happening is the biggest problem I find my clients actually struggle with is they are so focused on the next move, the next action, which is true, but they think, they are losing her in moments, single moments, but she is living in stages. What that means is that it's not like one day she just wakes up and enough is enough, I'm done, you are dead to me, and I walk away. It doesn't work like that, because what happened is she is, during the phase when actual things start to drift apart, she is fighting for it, but men don't see that. That's the problem. And the problem is that, I'll give you an example. Many years ago, when I found myself with my man, we were struggling. And it was already when I was deciding that, should I leave or should I stay? And we went for a walk with our dog. And I asked him, listen, can we just go for a weekend somewhere, just you and I, just without Tyson? And he looked at me and he said, why wouldn't you want Tyson there? And at that point, I was like, you know what? I mean, this is too much. He thought, he was focused about the dog. Why don't I want dog there? But that was me reaching out, like, I need to be with you alone.
A bid for connection. You were bidding for his connection, weren't you?
I was, but he didn't see that, because he was just like, why don't you want Tyson? He always goes everywhere with us. It was just ridiculous. So basically, that was for me, like, that wasn't the moment I decided I'm leaving, but it was another lost bit of connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So in that moment, what happened was, for me, is I had to protect myself even more because I was like, listen, I'm in a lose-lose situation here. If I bring something up, I lose. If I don't speak up, I lose. What's my third option? Consideration of leaving, because I just feel like I have to protect myself all the time because I get punished in a way, whether it's concern, my fear, or, any mistake I make. So that's the difference.
Claudia Slosarova dropping some nuggets this morning. Let's get some questions from the community here, Claudia. Jess says, what are your thoughts on saving a marriage after infidelity on the man's part and or the woman's part? And then Jess follows that up. And good morning, Dwayne. And good morning, Lauren. Jess follows it up by saying walking provides synchronicity physically and promotes cooperation. But what do you say to Jess's question about infidelity?
Infidelity. Okay. Is he asking if it's the reason to walk away, to end relationship? Because everything's fixable. The way if I had a client who had this issue, number one, I would ask him, was it the relationship or was it just one-off? Because there is a big difference. Because if it's one-off, that was just probably a stupid mistake. I'm not justifying any infidelity. I hate it. But the problem is people, they just put themselves into these positions and sometimes they just don't know what to do. And number two, if it was a relationship, then it's a bigger problem because you need to really go deep into like why that person feels safer with the other person as opposed to with you. The thing is, I've had clients who there was infidelity. It always starts with emotional infidelity first, because especially when it comes to women, you see, for we women, there is one thing that men don't understand. It's how much we sense danger everywhere. We sense it everywhere. And when we feel any sense of relief anywhere else, we just go for it. For example, if my husband is really direct and, he tries to build me up, but I don't see that way in that moment, okay? And then there is someone else, another man who will listen to me and doesn't dismiss my feelings, doesn't literally tell me, here is what you should think, feel, or do. Well, guess what? I'm going to feel safer with that person.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's the right thing. Like that person, like that woman should never put herself into that position, okay? I have a rule with my man that I don't have any male friends unless they're gays, because it's just, why would I put myself into a position that I could risk some chemistry starting off and then it's just
interesting. So John, so what you're saying, so there's the boundary in your relationship with the boundary in your relationship is no friendships with male because interesting. And then is the boundary for your husband no friendships with females?
Of course, because he tells me there is only one reason why a man wants to have a female girlfriend, and that's because he wants sex. They're like, oh no, it's not true. Come on, like, really, you want to have another female friend who just yabby 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 yabby? I don't think you want that,
I'll challenge that though. I'll challenge that because you can have a man could have a female friend because they have some common interest. Like I would say that my wife and I, we have plenty of friends of the opposite sex from the gym. If the gym is the commonality.
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, if we're talking about a friend that you're having fucking sleepovers with, that's a different thing. There's different levels of friends, it's like, so I guess I can totally understand where you're coming from. And I'm sure there are plenty of relationships like that, such as yours. But I think at the same time, I want to be able to see my wife go make the right choices. So if she takes a friend and brings that friend too deep into her world, that's a problem. If she understands where they should stay to keep me and the relationship comfortable, I want to see her do that without me having a fucking rule that she can't have a friend.
Claudia, that's an interesting point of view John makes because he's placed, I'll use the word, I don't know if it's a boundary or an expectation on his partner because he's like, I have an expectation of her. She's my wife. I hope what I'm hearing you say, John, I hope she makes the right decisions with the friends that she makes. If not, there's going to be a problem about her character. Claudia, how do you interpret that?
I interpreted that expectation of others is the number one cause of every problem in every relationship.
Interesting.
Because any expectations you have of your partner is literally saying that you should be or act as I do, you know? And if it's so there is difference between expectations and preference. Now, there is big difference between saying out loud, having this open conversation where I am not gonna put myself into any threat, basically. And that means I'm not gonna have male friends. So especially their exes, you know, or something like that.
But Claudia, you have an expectation, meaning you can't have a friend. That's an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
That's not an expectation. No, this is just part of who I am. That's what I want.
It's about you're saying it's
but you're expecting him to be the same way.
I am not. He told me that alone. Because what happens is I actually don't tell him what to do or what not to do. He comes to conclusion on his own, and I think
that's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I want to see my mate act as I would, or I'll go find a different mate. That mate's not compatible for me. This is how I act, and if she doesn't act, because I have everybody has different ideas of who their mate should be. If I feel, if for me personally, if I have to create guardrails for a mate to make decisions, that's not the one for me. You make your own decisions, and I want to decisions you make are good for the relationship. And if you're that way, then you're great for me. If you're not, then I'll find somebody else.
I absolutely get where you're coming from. It's so interesting what you said, because this is actually where a lot of couples start to drift apart, is where you do it my way or else, you know. It's
no, but real quick, it's not my way or else. It's like, I live my life this way. This is who I believe this is the right way to do it. This is my belief.
Your values, your beliefs. Yeah.
And I want someone that has similar beliefs. And if their beliefs are similar enough, we align. If they don't, we don't. And I've had plenty that were like this. And I've found one like this, and it works fucking great. We don't have rules.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess to a certain extent, I totally get what you're saying. Expectations are a guaranteed way to make you unhappy, make you to break shit apart.
About opportunities, I would reframe it. Like, I don't put myself into opportunities where things could go bad, as opposed to if I had, some friends who are male, especially if they're attractive, especially if we have commonality, if we have similar interests, that's how things start. Like, the most infidelities happen actually in the workplace.
Well, and I agree with what you're saying. Maybe we're talking about the same thing, because
I think you guys are actually in many ways.
I expect Terry not to put herself in positions that would be poor for our relationship. You're saying the same thing. I think we're just saying it from different angles.
Our starting point is our starting point is different.
I think first of all, this is fascinating. I love this, Claudia, because we're making some great conversations, some great progress here. I think what gets confusing, Johnny, is when we put that word like expectation, right? Because what you're saying is essentially is a boundary. And I agree with you, because you're saying, here's my beliefs, here's my values. Essentially, these are my boundaries, right? And this is how I live. And those that want to live within the same boundaries of me, we're going to get along just fine.
Yeah. And those that don't, we won't. And that's okay too.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's an expectation, Claudia, as much as it is this is how I roll. And I do think we are saying the same things, because you're saying that
just different language.
Yeah. And I do you know what I'm saying, Claudia? Do you agree with that, Claudia?
Absolutely. I do agree. Yes. It's about that. I don't put myself into any opportunities at all, when it comes to that something could go wrong, as opposed to you can still have your friends and they can decide in that moment if something happens or not. And I basically eliminate that layer. That's what I do, But look, that works for me, and if that works for you, I mean, that's fine. But because you are in a stage where there could be potential threat, you need to be equipped with the skills to deal with it later, because there is nothing worse than, you will, because what can happen is one day, for you, it will be all of a sudden, she might tell you there is someone else, or I've been having feelings for someone else, and you will flip out. You're like, where is this coming from? You know, and it's never all of a sudden.
Well, and it's interesting because I can disagree with some of the things you're saying, because what you're also saying is that why would I encourage my husband, if my husband likes candy, why would I encourage my husband to go and have relationships with the candy shop and go spend time in the candy shop? Because I know he's good and I trust his decisions, because Claudia's like, yeah, he'll make good decisions. But what you're saying, Claudia, is that over time, is if he spends enough time in the candy shop,
Candy is addictive.
exactly. And then the concern is that eventually he's now spending more time in the candy shop than with you. So what I think Claudia is saying, and John, it's a valid point in many ways, which is like, if you're happy in your relationship with your female or your male, why do you need to go find other friends in the same sex? That's what Claudia is essentially saying. Am I simplifying that, Claudia? That's basically what you're saying. Is that if you're happy with me, why do you got to go why do you got to go spend time in the candy shop? Am I not good enough for you? Right?
Not necessarily not good enough for you, but it's more about that it's a decision that I just don't want to do it. Like I said, it's about eliminating threat.
Yeah, eliminating a threat.
Yeah, and it's the responsibility of the person,
yes,
to make sure that they're not, spending so much time in the candy shop that it creates a problem.
Yes.
If I had a behavior pattern that was creating a problem for Terry, then basically I would see that there's something. I would have to look at what's going on. Okay, it's something I'm doing is creating this for her. What is it? I guess when it comes down, we're talking about kind of friends with the opposite relationship. That's a little easier to grab a hold of because it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But it's like I'm trying to think. Like Terry she probably has as many friends that are men as women. That's just her nature. She's she's an aggressive female. And there's been plenty of times she used lots of male friends when we got together. And I remember meeting them as we were first starting to connect. And I can remember coming home and one of them was there with her at that time was my home when she was living with me, before it was quote our home, if you will. And it was kind of like the relationship that I felt between them, and to me, the decisions that she made around these people were totally suitable for what I felt was her protecting the relationship, protecting the responsibilities of what I thought a mate should do. So I guess it's a little abstract. Does that make sense of what I'm saying? There's so many different levels of what we're talking about,
Absolutely. This is deeper topic. You see, it's all about, like I said at the start, that when things start to go downhill in relationship, it's usually people start to fix it with love actions, but love is the wrong problem to fix in that moment. It's
you know what?
Safety issue.
You just dropped a nugget that I'd like to return to, but I want to be respectful of your time. So you gave us 30 and we're over our 30, but this has been really great, Claudia. I got to tell you.
Fun conversation for sure.
Too. Are you able to stick around with myself and John or do you have a hard stop right now?
No, I'll be happy to.
So that's what we're gonna do. This is awesome because here's something we talk about. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do lifestyle tip with Anderson, reset hour 2, and come back. Because Claudia, John and Keith joke with us often. People go through relationship problems and so forth. Next thing you know, they're let's have a kid, or let's go have sex, or let's go on a vacation. And I see your face right now. Well, I have this I have a study here which says that sex stress relief only lasts the day. We have fight and then we have sex and then shit doesn't get any better. Let's get into that conversation in hour 2 with myself, John Anderson, and Claudia Slusarova this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's do it, Jimmy.
All right, I'm going to bring you guys, let's call it a biohack, if you will. I'm going to bring you guys a trick of the trade, a way to kind of play the game with a little advantage, if you will. Because what I'm hearing out there from so many of you guys is that, if you could just get out of the gate with, starting to get in shape quickly so you could see the results, which would give you the motivation to continue. Now, that's totally backwards, but we're not getting into that. If this is the way you feel, it's the way you feel. So What's the button you push to make this happen? Well, the odds are cardio and your diet is not going to do the trick because you've tried it, you've failed too many times. That's why you're saying this to yourself. If I could just see the progress quickly, it'll give me the motivation to continue. Well, insert or inject the peptide, the biohack that's going to do this for you. But this is not medical advice. This is me sharing my research with you. So there is a peptide called retatrutide, and it is the third generation of the GLP. So here's the thing. Really can't compare it to the other two. Well, I suppose you can, it's in the same family, but when you understand how to use it properly, it reacts and does very, very different things. It creates a different outcome. Here's the deal. This peptide is going to, it literally has, it's called the glucagon effect, glucagon receptor. It's going to literally tell your body to burn body fat for fuel and give you energy. It's going to speed up your metabolic rate. So it's going to give you a little bit more energy. It's going to massage the addictive center in your brain, which is going to make you stop dopamine chasing for food. You're going to stop using food for entertainment. Now, this element might be the tipping point for you between the addictive center of the brain, the glucagon receptor. You're going to end up making progress on this whole thing, whether you like it or not. In the first week, you're going to notice a change. Even if you haven't really done much in your life, if your lifestyle hasn't changed much, this will actually bring you some success. This peptide will. Now, at this point, you see the success you're looking for, and you're like, holy smokes, I can actually get my hand, in my pants before I could barely button them up. Or holy smokes, I actually have a little more energy. I'm feeling better. You lean into the process. You needed that motivation, right? Now you've got it because you see the quick success. Now, here's the beautiful part about this. As you move forward and this peptide really starts to kick in and all of the other positive effects start to enter the equation, primarily the fact that you're making better food decisions, you're going to have more energy, you're going to want to move more, you're going to want to exercise more, you're going to find yourself not wanting to eat those shitty foods. All of these things put together are going to help you get what you want, but I want you to hear what I'm saying. You're going to want. When you want to do something, it's so much easier than when you feel like you have to. So is there a way to do what you want in terms of get quick progress so you can have the motivation to continue? Yes. And according to my research, the answer is retatrutide. Rock and roll.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation. We get up and get after it live every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock on mornings.live. You're hanging out with myself, John Anderson, and Claudia Slosarova. We're talking friendships. We're talking infidelity. We're talking sex. We're talking relationships. And we're going to get into a conversation right now. We're going to continue with Claudia. And it goes like this: sex stress relief. Yeah, sex stress. Sex stress relief only lasts the day. And having sex to avoid a fight actually makes things worse. We're going to keep that conversation going right now with Claudia, myself, and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends.
Science tracked 319 couples for 2 weeks straight. The findings are honest. How honest we talking?
That's not stress relief. That's a delay button with interest. Handle the conversation or keep waking up tense. Your call.
Sex lowers same-day stress, but by morning, the effect is completely gone. And if you use it to dodge a fight, next-day stress goes up.
So here's how I think it goes, right? You and I are in a relationship. We're all stressed out, or we're not getting along quite well. So it's like, oh, we're having a moment. So then all of a sudden we have sex. And then it reduces the stress in that day. Then all the oxytocin and hormones go away. And then the next day it gets worse. Claudia, they sat down with 8,000 people. And the statistics show that next day stress was higher than the day before. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, when I was in a struggle phase with my man, before I left him, we actually when it was really bad, I was like, I think we should have a kid, because I thought that bringing something positive would magically fix all our problems, but that just shows how your brain works when it's in a survival mode, not in a love mode, meaning when you are trying to protect what you have. Because what you have to consider is when you are in a rough patch, what's happening is like you are weighing the cost benefit analysis all the time. So you are actually trying, and you build life around the person you are with. You can lose so much, and especially for women, men think it's easier for us to a certain extent, but especially women after 30, if we are going to lose the man, okay, especially the one that we thought we would be with, what's going to happen is our dating opportunities go way lower. That's just a fact. And the biological clock is our enemy too. So we really have to have everything sorted out quite fast. And when it comes to sex, which is, like, let's have a kid, it's the same thing. It's just a quick dopamine hit. It's a quick dopamine hit, nothing else, because it only answers the surface level issues. So I'm not surprised by the result at all. And I'm surprised that people didn't know that it's just a quick relief, pain relief.
It's interesting to hear your comment though, that, you're like you said, and John, I know you heard it too, which was, as I was having some struggles with my man, my brain said, let's go have a kid. I'm paraphrasing, but that was like, because then what I heard you say, and I never really heard it say it as clearly as you did, that to you equaled safety.
Absolutely. Safety because of my biological clock, because I was weighing up in that moment, specific moment, like what I have to lose if I leave, which let's put it straight. My man, like even now we are back together, he was always a good man. When I deal with, struggling relationships, I am dealing with a man that is actually a good man, not like piece of shit or something, Same with women. She's not like some crazy, nasty, witch, The point is that when you are with a good person and then things go shit, after some time, like you are weighing like what's costing me more all the time, because you are protecting yourself, you're in survival mode. And that's what people don't realize. What that means is that even when you have crazy ideas, like let's have sex, like obviously for a period of time you feel good, but then you feel way worse. Guess what? When we had sex, what happens is the day after, when I felt bad, actually for me it was way sooner, to be honest, I was crying. He just didn't see that, because it reminded me of everything I have already lost. Because when a woman is already protecting herself, that she's considering, should I stay or should I go, when she knows that it feels very expensive to be in a relationship with this man and she doesn't know why, everything he does to recreate love, whether it's sex, whether it's dates, it only reminds her of what she has already lost, because in her mind it's already gone. So I was crying when we had sex, because I was like, this was great, but now back to reality, and we're back in a cycle that I just don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. And back then I didn't, my man didn't either, and it went really bad. So it's not about what people should be doing instead when they're struggling. Is you really need to look at what are these problems that we are dealing with? What do they cost us? Like I said at the start, because they look at, the rewards, the sex, the pleasure and stuff, but they should be really looking at what are we masking here? What are we not really dealing with? And that's the key issue. So, the sex is good temporary, but it's a quick dopamine hit. It's like having cake, it makes you feel good, but if you keep eating it, then in 10 years time, your liver and heart will say something else, Well,
I find the theme is either sex, it's either a kid, or it's a vacation. Hey, Johnny, it's like, and you've joked with so many times, John. You're like, hey, we're having a situation. Let's go have a kid, or let's go get married. And
the idea of getting married, so you're going to increase the expectations of the relationship, but you haven't changed anything in the relationship to support those expectations. So all you've done is speed up the process of falling apart,
and then added a label to it.
Yeah. And the sex,
let government involved as well.
The sex thing, I don't have, thank God I'm not in a relationship like this now, but part of what fucked me up with trying to find a good relationship is that I had developed this pattern with these really unstable females. Well, obviously I was dealing with it, so how stable could I have been? So I'm not trying to point the finger. But point of being is that it would be this cycle, and I didn't realize that the cycle was happening. You fight, and then basically you get to do a nasty fight, and then you have sex to basically get over the fight. That's like the making up. So it was almost like this, it was so intense on both sides. It was like this thing that just never stopped. And it was like to realize that have sex being always attached to some sort of a problem. I think a lot of people end up in that, and they don't realize, just like you said, it's just this, it's a short-term fix. It's got nothing to do with fixing the actual problem. It's just the short-term fix of how you feel. And then you go right back into the choppy territory and start fighting again.
Hey, Claudia, something John said just jumps out at me. He says, most people don't realize, like, so this is what you do for a living. Do a lot of folks come into you and actually not realize?
I did that for fucking a decade, didn't realize it.
Yeah. So Claudia, talk about that for a moment.
Absolutely. 100% of my clients don't realize anything. And the number one reason is because it's hard to read the label inside the bottle. What I mean by that is, it's like you were saying, John, that when you were looking for a partner, you were stuck in your patterns. And that's a key word, because that's actually precisely what I help my clients with. It's just those patterns. Remember how I told you at the start, what I specifically help men with, that they have the magic wand. They deliver the things they think they land well with the wife. I say the perfect words. I say it calmly, confidently. I'll lead the moment. And yet she gives him response that she didn't expect. That's where I step in, because then after that moment, if he gets something, if he gets a resistance, let's call it, he reverts back to his old patterns. And these are the patterns that he's not even aware of having. Okay. So, and he doesn't know how to fix it. And that's where I step in, because like I said, she lives in stages, but he loses her in moments. So to create a pattern, new pattern, of, let's say, to switch from being defensive into, someone who just simply stops it, that's a massive step for men. You wouldn't believe, but just actually stop your default pattern is really hard. And that's what I help them do, because it was the same what you were probably, John, doing. You had to snap out of cycle somewhere, right? So the only way out is you break it, and then you start a new one.
I had a friend point it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
You need a mirror.
I was like,
you need a mirror.
I was like, it was like, how did I not see this? But then once I saw it, it was clear.
Because it's hard to read inside the bottle.
Yeah. I mean,
that's it. Exactly. And that's what even my clients have all the time. They're like, it's so obvious. And I was like, it is, but only when it's said out loud, And lots of times men don't even want to admit certain things, because there is lots of like feeling shame or pride and all of that. Ego is not really your friend sometimes, so you just really need someone who sees through your bullshit as well and just keeps you accountable and keeps you going, because the biggest part of my job is make sure that you don't drift off the road. You stay on the road. That's a hard job, for them to do, and catch the real moment where actually he's sleeping. Because what he thinks is the right action very often is the opposite. Because even when a man is in a struggling relationship and he's really like, he's acting out with fear, obviously, but he is actually stuck in his cycles and he's working based on instinct. It's like, imagine that you put your hand over a hot stove. What do? You just remove it. It's the instinct. It's to protect yourself, right? So he is actually operating in a survival mindset as well. He is sensing threat and his instinct kicks in. That's why then he ends up saying, fucking idiot, I shouldn't have said it, or I should have done it differently, and rehearses everything until 2 a.m. in bed, like how to say it perfectly. And yet after that, he's like, I shouldn't have said it, you idiot, or whatever, stuff like that. Because that's the part that he's not aware of, it's this micro moment that he doesn't know how to fix. And that's where I step in, because he needs someone in a specific moment to tell him, listen, this is how you are reading the situation wrong. This is the wrong problem you're fixing. And this is the next move. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Keith, Johnny, and Claudia this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. We're wrapping up with Claudia Slossard over this morning. Hey, Claudia, have you, so would you have left your husband if he had bad garlic breath?
Did you know garlic might help support testosterone? That claim has more behind it than people think. Strongest evidence is still animal data. Crush garlic, release the sulfur compounds, and hormone signaling may get a lift. One proposed pathway is luteinizing hormone. That's the signal that tells the testes to make more testosterone. Garlic also shows antioxidant effects, which may help protect testicular function where stress, inflammation, or metabolic issues are in the mix. Human evidence is still limited, but the early signal is interesting. Promising? Yes. Settled science? Not yet.
So garlicle's not a miracle, but it may have some real T support potential. That's our today's Did You Know? Back to Keith and John.
Hey, Claudia, garlic could be a reason somebody's leaving something, but hey, listen, there's a lot of peer-reviewed evidence that shows garlic provides modest cardiovascular benefits from small reductions in LDL cholesterol, blood pressure.
All of these little goofy tips.
Yeah.
You can take all of these goofy tips and just fucking go to bed and work on getting better sleep. Will destroy all of it. Rather than fucking eating a bunch of garlic and do all those other little stupid details that don't fucking matter, set an alarm. Go to fucking bed on time, straighten up your sleep patterns, and that's so much more powerful than all of these little tips.
But just have some garlic in your food, because I love garlic with my food, Claudia. You like
if you like garlic, eat your garlic. But don't go fucking crushing garlic thinking it's going to fucking raise your testosterone drastically.
It's going to fix marriages, Claudia. Garlic is going to fix every marriage. That's Claudia's new tip today. Have some garlic, Claudia.
You know, the worst part about this is that people see shit like this, don't realize that we're making fun of it, and they start fucking chewing up garlic bread, thinking that they're going to fucking raise their testosterone.
Hold on a second. Garlic bread?
Well, of course, because they're not just going to eat garlic, they're going to fucking put it on bread, of course. We just justified to all the fat fuckers, now they can eat their garlic bread.
Oh my God, John Anderson dropping nuggets.
And it's not even, and the garlic bread rarely even has real garlic in it. It's fucking garlic butter.
Claudia, did you know you were going to have so much ridiculous fun this morning hanging out with myself and John this morning?
I didn't, but I'm loving it.
Are you really loving it?
I am, absolutely. Yeah.
You have
me hungry though. I love garlic. Yeah, but not garlic bread.
Well, it's interesting. Our resident bullshit professor in the lab drops a comment and he says, "What about a pound of garlic cloves in the bed, Claudia?" Hey, you never know. Whatever floats somebody's boat, eh?
Yeah, whatever they're into. Like, I mean, look, I think I heard somewhere that if you put garlic in your socks while you sleep,
yes,
apparently it's gonna be good for your heart or something like that.
We talked about that too. Yes,
I don't know. With their fucking socks on.
You would be surprised.
Hey, Claudia, wrap it up. You have been awesome, man. I got to tell you, have been great. Wrap it up. Some closing comments, nuggets, action that you want to just drop for our audience before we wrap up today with you.
Yeah, to men who are really trying to, fix their marriage. When you are really trying, I want you to think about from perspective that she is not asking you, do you still love me? She's asking, how much does it cost me to be with you? When you switch to this perspective, you're automatically going to think of less, not adding more, because that's what you need to be doing. Because all these fixes you're trying to do, they just push her away, and you can clearly see it, the failed dinner, or, that she actually keeps looking at her phone instead of you, and it pisses you off. Well, think of it as, it's not the phone, it's that she feels more comfortable with the phone than with you in the moment. And it's not personal, it's just how she is dealing with a threat response. So think about this, because that's the starting point. Because once you have the right mindset around this, then you can start reading the problems right as well, So fix the right problem first.
Yeah, I love it. Johnny, Claudia's been great, man. So I know, Claudia, we had you scheduled a couple times. We had a couple attempts to get you here. I got to tell you, I am so glad we got you here this morning. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here too. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Before you go though, so Jimmy, what WTF is this, man? Check this out. Well, I don't know what I'm watching, but just watch this. This is look at this. French fries from a actual a little nugget, like
capsule.
Johnny, that's called "The World Is Going to Hell in a Handbasket." Drop a fucking capsule of potato in the deep fry, and you got a bundle of French fries.
That's like, where did that come from?
That's exactly it. It's like, but dude, that's the problem, Johnny. Why we're all like, we joke about
they have manufactured meat in the stores already.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Hey, Claudia, so when
doesn't come from an animal, that clearly is not coming from a fucking potato.
Oh man. So
it's not just the potato; it's the oil as well. It's fat. So it's the whole thing, just garbage. Yeah.
I'm going to date myself, but when I was going to school and the teachers wanted to show stuff to us, they decided to put this up in the classroom. Did you? I know Johnny had this too. Claudia, how about you? Remember this thing? Do you remember this? And we called this and Petro, remember this? The retro projector. Jimmy, let's throw this on the screen, man. This vintage little throwback here. If you guys have this here quickly, let's throw this on the screen. Remember the what the hell is this called again? The project. This thing here. Remember that?
Yeah, they used to put the little cards on there and write them.
I think Claudia's too young for this. I don't think. Do you remember this, Claudia, going to school?
I think I saw it once in school. Yeah, in the grammar school, like a long time ago, but only once. Yeah.
Only once. Claudia, thanks for hanging out with myself and John this morning. Where can folks find you and connect with you?
I'm on LinkedIn, so if you just find me, you'll find plenty of info and strategies on how to stop losing your wife and your position in the house.
Awesome. Claudia Slosarova, thanks for hanging out this morning. Johnny?
Thank you, Claudia. It was fun talking with you today.
Awesome. We're going to walk Claudia
out of here. Thank you.
Yes. And we have everybody in the comments helping me, John, with what that thing was called. Thank you, everybody. It's called an overhead projector. Yes.
There we go. Yes.
We got Dwayne, we got Jess, we have Petro, we have the entire gang here. Jimmy, we can walk Claudia. I'll wrap up with Johnny. Claudia, have a good one. Okay, take care. I remember when we had those in high school. I think they actually, and Petro says, the light bulbs are super expensive. I remember I was in class one time and the light bulb blew out, and the teacher's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have to get a new light bulb." And it was this expensive thing for this ridiculous overhead projector. Yeah,
I remember Mr. Ball. He's a fucking algebra teacher. He used to fucking write on that. We spent more time fucking watching him write on that goddamn thing.
I gotta be honest. So I enjoyed that chat with Claudia. We certainly have good relationship conversations on this show. Brianna, that one with Claudia, it just opens up so many avenues, eh? It's just there's so many things to lean into.
I mean, that's a deep topic. There's a lot of directions to go for sure.
Yeah. And it was interesting.
Lost in that topic too.
It was interesting to hear her talk about the boundaries, though, right? Where she's like, my husband doesn't have friends with females, and I don't have friends.
It's because English wasn't her first language. Was the hiccup? I think because it's just some of the words that were being used, I digested them improperly. When once I took my position and we wrestled around with it, we realized we were talking about the same thing. We were just basically coming about it, wording it differently, getting to the same conclusion from two different positions.
Yeah. But it is interesting how those slight change of words, though, can change a point of view where somebody has a boundary and somebody has an expectation, but it's all linked around a belief, which is, no, my belief is this. My behavior is going to be a certain way, and that behavior is going to show loyalty to my wife, and she expects that of me, and you're saying the same thing. And I think that's admirable, right? Which is, I have an expectation. And that you'll behave a certain way because that's how I behave.
Yeah, I mean, to say that you don't have an expectation, I think there's many ways to dress that word up, but you strip it down.
Agreed.
Strip it down. It's like, if someone is just completely lost their fucking marbles. Right?
Yes.
That's goes outside the lines of what, let's say somebody fucking all of a sudden one day gets, hit with, they get in a car wreck and they become a fucking serial killer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Yeah. I have an expectation that my mate doesn't kill people.
just the obvious.
But my point. That's how can you not have an expectation? It's there's no possible way. Now, granted, I think the idea is that when you expect someone to do something you're not doing, there's the problem.
Yes.
I live my life this way, and this is the way I live, and if you mesh with that and you live similar, then we're good to go.
Bingo.
You know? Bingo. I'm not going to be a piece of shit and expect you to be perfect. That's where the problems lie. Well,
and we've talked about it before, and this is where I get frustrated with our men, which is our men want the hot yoga wife or the hot yoga teacher or the hot physically fit female, but the dude's crushing Cheetos with the big fat belly, and it's like, dude, no, it's gotta go both ways, man.
Here's the secret, man. You're gonna attract what you are.
Yeah, yes, 100%. Yep. Just remember, communication is key to any relationship from Jess of the Newell, and self-disclosure encourages your partner to reciprocate. 100%. Hey, Johnny, I found it interesting. John, before you go here, a little different. John, before you go.
Hey, John, before you go, you ever seen a black sedan do barrel rolls like it's auditioning for the damn Olympics?
Bro, that rig's spinning the car like a rotisserie. Somewhere a mechanic just whispered, "That'll buff out," and cried.
And there goes the unbelted mannequin, yeeted straight into the stratosphere. That's not ejected, that's promoted to astronaut.
Meanwhile, the belted mannequin's chilling like, "I paid $0 for this seatbelt, and it's saving my whole fake-ass life."
So what's the lesson? Wear your seatbelt or enjoy your new career as a flying hood ornament.
Hey, John, why do people still skip seatbelts, then act shocked when physics slaps them?
There's Johnny leaving in his 2026 Land Cruiser. John, so when I saw this, it was kind of fascinating to me because I don't think about it this way, but look, like you just roll and there's physics in action. The body just ends up out of the car. Simple as that. Like literally as simple as that.
Centrifugal force.
Yeah. But I've often wondered why the body doesn't stay in all the time, but you're right. It just
if you have a chance, you'd have to try to get to the very center of that spin.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're right.
If you're on a foot, what are these things in the park? They go around a circle.
Oh, yes. Like
you stand in the very fucking center, you're fine. You might get sick, but you venture out to the outside, you're fucking holding on, trying not to get thrown across the park.
Right. So if you're in that car and you're strapped in the middle in between the two seats,
so you'd want to fucking somehow wedge yourself between the two chairs, the two front seats, and lay straight with the car.
Oh yeah, and you would not get tossed out because
you'd have a better chance for sure.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. There you go.
So right before the car flips, get yourself laid down between the fucking chairs, and you have plenty of time to do that when you're getting in a wreck where your car's going to flip.
When you're rolling over along the way.
Yeah, just get yourself to the center of the car and you'll be fine.
There's some tips and tricks from Anderson this morning when you're getting into an accident. Brother, what are you doing today? What's on the agenda?
Let's see here. Exciting day. I'm always excited about I got a business meeting about the taking my done for you business to a whole nother level. I was
going to say the done for you. Yeah. How's that come along? Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a meeting at 9:30 today. That's really going to kind of unhatch some of the plans for its future,
nice.
Yeah. Cause I'm going to be partnering. I think
it's new to you, isn't it?
What's that?
Is that new to you, partnering?
No, I partner, yes, but I think what it comes down to is, look, I got this nailed. I'm really good at this, and I got this nailed, and I don't want to do this, and you're really good at this.
Yeah. So
you handle your shit, I'll handle my shit, and call it a partner, call it a merger, call it whatever. It's like two people that are two companies that have really got something. They're really good at what they do, but they don't want to step outside what they do. They just rather connect together.
Identifying your strengths. No different than what we're doing here. No, identifying your strengths. Good for you, man. That's awesome. That's That's spectacular. Going to get a good nap in today too?
Yeah, I got it. So I go Ben, nap. So let's see where I got. Ben, nap. I got a little bit of time for that meeting, handle a few things of business, go to the gym. Then I've actually got a dinner thing tonight.
Nice.
30, which will be fun. So
nice. I'm building, dude.
Another exciting day, baby. Every day is exciting.
Oh, I'm loving it too, but I got to tell you, man. So I've been building our Conversation OS, the platform that powers everything here. And just when I think it's like done, you're like, oh no, but then there's that, right? And I'm not trying to stretch it like it's never done, but it's certainly been a learning experience for me. And I guess the best way I could equate it to is that when you see a building and you think the building's done, and then you're like, well, no, but that wiring is missing over there, and those
never done.
No, and
that's the idea. Is you realize that you're at the next stopping point.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly. So we got a brand new show launch this Wednesday. Adam House and Paul Reedner and Josh Kent are dropping Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern time, right after our show, called What the Truck. I'm excited about that one. So we're getting that rolling this week with the platform we've been building. But yeah, it's been and because I'm coding, dude, and when I'm coding with an agent, I got to tell it what to do, and then I fucking just kind of stand and walk. So you know what I've been doing? True story. I come down to the gym with my laptop, and I'll do a lift. Like I'll lift because I'm basically like supervising. So I'm like, well, fuck. I guess if I'm supervising, I might as well get a lift in while I'm fucking standing here. So I'll prompt the agent, get it to do something while it's doing it. I'll go do some fucking go for a walk, some push-ups. It's actually been a nice way to be productive at the same time. True story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ben is going to reach out. He's having some hiccups with says it's making progress, but it'll log itself out. It can't stay logged in and shit like that. So
good. Tell him to comment. Tell him to send me a note. And hey, before we wrap up today, we should send some love to the young lady herself. The young, smiling, bald lady we both have lots of affection for. Her name is Cheryl Whitaker. Happy birthday, Cheryl!
Happy birthday.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right, brother. You have a great day. Say hi to Ben for me. I know I've kept you a minute past that. Enjoy your day. I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
You got it, my brother. Have a good loop.
You bet. All right, Johnny's out of here, nation. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Cheryl Whitaker. She's turning the big 4-0 today. Yeah, she sure is. Excited to hang out with Cheryl for the next 75 years of her life as she's just hitting that next era, the 40s. Yes, Cheryl Whitaker. 8:30 right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. It's called It Starts with Cheryl. No, it starts with joy. Yes, that's what it is. 8:30 Eastern time right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. All right, so Jim, before we do the morning focus, I'm thinking that we might want to actually get to our deep dive topic as perhaps a reminder that it's the time of year where maybe we need to audit where we are, right? It's middle of April. We are in the middle. We are at the start of quarter 2. Before we know it, quarter 2 is going to be over. We're going to be halfway through 2026, on the way to quarter 3. And I just, tax time is around the corner. Jimmy, should we have a conversation about the self audit and about this, what happens, the audit, why your excuses don't deduct? I think we should get into that one before we get into the morning focus about love this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends.
Men fear an IRS audit. They'll let their own excuses run a decades-long Ponzi scheme.
A life audit is simple. Your habits are line items, and your relationships either build you or bleed you.
The lie is always the same. I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I'll start next week. And somehow the debt never disappears.
That's the favorite excuse right there. I'm not procrastinating. My schedule is attacking me personally.
Radical honesty feels like a refund. You stop paying interest on a story you already know is fake. So Keith and John, when a man calls his excuses responsible, how do you run the audit without letting him cook the books?
So guys, I just, the life audit concept, treat your habits like line items, right? If a habit isn't yielding a return on investment, maybe you might want to consider it a liability that needs to be cut. Think about that, right? So as you go through it, maybe you're just looking back at 2026 right now. and you're looking forward, you're looking behind you, and you're going, this habit right now is actually not yielding me any return on investment. And maybe today's the day, Jimmy, where you're like, nah, you know what? I got to cut this one today. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, right? How about next one? It's creative accounting in marriage. We just spent some time with Claudia Slavova around, the marriage mechanic. Maybe it's breaking down how we offset a lack of intimacy by pointing to a paycheck. Maybe, guys, that higher salary isn't the tax credit for a low effort relationship. Maybe it's time to look in the mirror and settle some debt for the relationship that you desire. I don't know. All right, let's look at the next one. The cost of procrastinating. All of us right now, all of us Gen Xers as we're aging, in our 40s, what happens? Cheryl, your body stops loaning you health. Yes, we discussed why physical neglect at this age carries that compound interest, and then we get to the 50s, and then we get to the 60s. And then what happens, it might lead to a midlife deficit that you can't outrun because we wake up and we made a bunch of bad accumulative decisions that we can't outrun any further. So maybe today is the day where we look in the mirror and ask us, Jimmy, what is the cost of procrastination? And then it's this idea of identifying what life equity drains, right? It's analyzing that inner circle. Who's around you? Who's around you that's draining you? Are the people around you the assets that challenge your leadership? Or are they the write-offs who enable mediocrity? Think about that, right? We surround ourselves with so many folks. Some drive mediocrity, some drive success. True story. And hey guys, imposter syndrome versus financial fraud. Why faking it in your career feels like success but creates that tax debt, right? Or stress and mental health decline that eventually comes due. So again, as we're aging, looking in the mirror and asking ourselves, what's the audit? What do I need to do? Am I really that imposter, or am I just a financial fraud, right? And we can also, audit ourselves through accountability, sovereignty through accountability, shifting the perspective from, accountability is a burden to accountability is the only way to own the assets of your life. And that's what we breed and talk about on the show all the time, is the value and the power of accountability, getting up, getting started, looking in the mirror, accepting what's happened, and then doing it again. And that's what we started Mornings Alive with Keith John. So nation, maybe today's the day where you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, maybe today's the day I need to audit yourself. Maybe today's the day where my excuses don't matter. Maybe today is the day where, with tax season around the corner, is the time now to go and audit the rest of my life. Instead of just writing it off, maybe it's time to make a change. Yeah, true story. All right, there's our financial audit, our life audit. Wrapping up the deep dive this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. All right, 55 seconds. We got a morning focus segment where we're talking about the changing of love. And that conversation is starting in 56 seconds next on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's do it, Jimmy.
We can love someone and still outgrow the version of love we built. That doesn't make it fake. It means we changed.
Real love can be true and still not sustainable. We honor what mattered. We stop pretending the same shape still fits.
Excuse is we owe forever. That's not loyalty. That's fear dressed up as virtue. It keeps us stuck. Staying when it's misaligned costs us more than leaving. We lose time. We lose self-respect. The people closest to us feel it.
We confuse history with alignment. We confuse comfort with truth. If we have to force it, it isn't fit anymore.
Ending a chapter isn't betrayal. It's honesty with dignity. We can grieve the old version without destroying the beauty it had. Chief's about to break this down with clarity and consequences. If you felt this shift, lean in. This morning starts with truth.
All right, today, you can outgrow a version of love. One of the hardest things to admit in life is that you can love someone and still outgrow the version of love you built with them. Yes, that's the brutal truth we're going to get into this morning on today's morning focus topic. I'm going to get myself a little organized here this morning. Hey guys, you guys can join the phone you guys can join the show. There's got some comments around love, relationships, auditing. We're opening them up 431-300-3005. That's it, 431-300-3005. Come say hello. Come leave me a comment. Come send a message. Come leave a voicemail if you got something to say to contribute to the show, or just come leave a comment over on the side there. We got comments open. Everybody in the vertical stream, horizontal stream, come say hello out there as well. All right, so guys, we got some brutal truth for us this morning. Yeah, the brutal truth is this. One of the hardest things to admit is that you can love someone, but you can still outgrow the version of love you built with them. And I thought we can have this conversation in light of the chat we just finished up with Claudia Slor-Savova today, because most people want love to mean forever in the exact same form. Yeah, they want it to mean if it was real once, it should always stay real in the same way, with the same shape, the same chemistry, the same rhythm, and the same dynamic. But that is not how life works. Nope. And it's not how people work. Nope. People change. We get older. We heal. We break. We wake up. We hit the snooze button. We get clear. And we get more honest with the people around us, and we get more honest with ourselves. And we also stop tolerating things we once called normal. And we start needing things that we once never knew how to ask for. And sometimes what that was it was the love that was real. Very real. But it belonged to a version of you that you no longer exist. That's the part people struggle with, because it feels like betrayal to say it out loud. What am I saying out loud? Well, I'm saying that sometimes the love was real, but it belonged to a version of you that no longer exists, because it feels like betrayal to say that out loud. It feels cold when I say it out loud. It feels disloyal when I say it out loud. It feels like I'm rewiring history, but I'm not. It's actually the opposite of everything. It's honoring the truth. Because you can say that was real, that mattered, that changed, that carried, that helped, but also I'm not that person anymore because I've grown. It's not cruelty when we say that. No, nation. It's called maturity. Because not all love is meant to last in the same form. Some of it is for survival. Some for awakening, teaching, building. Maybe some love is for a season. Maybe some love is for a moment. And maybe some of it is for a chapter. Some of that love is for a version of you that needed exactly that kind of connection at exactly that moment, that point in your life when it came upon you. And then what happens, guys, is life keeps moving. Oh, life is always moving. It doesn't stop. You keep moving. And then one day, you realize that the thing that once felt like home now feels like a memory. You start to care. You start to appreciate. You might even still feel that love deeply, but it no longer fits. And that is where people get trapped. Again, go back to our conversation with Claudia Slor-Savova, because we confuse love with a fit. We confuse history with alignment, loyalty with permanence, or familiarity with truth. And those are not the same thing, you guys. No, just because something mattered does not mean it still matches who you are becoming. And just because you shared love does not mean you are still meant to share a life. Again, what I think so many humans confuse through that journey of life. That is where our guilt enters. And that is where people start trying to force what no longer flows. Again, we talked about it with Claudia today. Hey, I got to have a kid. Or hey, I got to go on a vacation. They stay because we don't want to hurt someone. We stay because we don't want to look like the bad guy. We stay because we cannot bear the idea that something meaningful could also be complete. No, we stay because ending it would mean grieving not just the person, but the version of themselves that existed inside of that love. And that is what makes this topic so painful. Because when love changes, it's not just a relationship that shifts. No, it's the identity. It's the story. the future, the role that you played in all those shifts. And suddenly, you're not just losing a person, you're losing a version of yourself. That is why humans cling. Not always because the love is still alive in the same way, but because the letting go feels like a death. And in some ways, nation, it is. But there's another truth that people do not talk about enough. Outgrowing a version of love. Outgrowing a version of love does not erase its beauty. It doesn't even make it fake. It doesn't even make the mistake. It does not mean that you were wrong. It means that life moved. And it means that you evolved along the way, that once what fit perfectly now fits differently or might even not fit at all. And that is where it becomes painful and honest. And I think that as we wrapped up with Claudia today, I think that honesty in that situation matters more than the romantic mythology that we've all been taught. Because what does mythology do? It keeps us trapped. Because if mythology says it was real, it must last forever. So mythology is. Mythology says if you change, well, somebody failed. And mythology says that love should conquer every difference, every shift, every new truth. But the reality is this: real life, guys, more complicated than that. We know that. Real life says sometimes love is real, and sometimes it's still not sustainable. Because sometimes love is so deep, but yet still misaligned, present, but still no longer enough. And that, guys, is not cynicism. That's called reality of adulthood. And that is what happens when you stop viewing love as a fairy tale and you start viewing love as a living thing. Man. And when I heard that from Zeglin a few years ago, whatever that was, talking about love, hit me straight in the face. Love is a living thing. Love changes things. Living things change. Living things grow. Living things strange. Living things adapt. They die. They renew. And so do we as humans. So yes, you can outgrow a version of love. You can outgrow the way that we were loved. You can also outgrow the way that you gave love. But here's the thing. You can also outgrow the emotional contract that you once called forever. And you know what, guys? That doesn't make you heartless. It makes you honest enough to admit that growth has consequences, that becoming has consequences. And maybe that is one of the hardest parts of being a human, is that realizing that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to stop pretending that the old shape still fits. Because love can be real and still no longer fit the people that you have become. That's what I found so profound about today's monologue, especially on a day when we had Claudia Slosarova talking about love and relationships. Because love can be real, but love can also still no longer fit who you have become. And that is the truth. And that is where the truth hurts. But when the truth hurts, it also sets people free.
Fellas, we love to wrap our hesitation in fancy therapy words.
We call it imposter syndrome to make ourselves feel deep, when the reality is usually much simpler. You just haven't put in enough reps yet.
Today, we're cutting the noise. We're looking at what actually cures that fraud feeling and what real, quiet strength looks like when the internet cameras are off. Take it away, handsome chief.
All right. Community Corner. We're going to boom. So Jimmy, I'm going to start our conversation on Community Corner today over on YouTube. And we're going to wrap it there today because my mouse is not working and I can't move my stuff around the screen here anymore for some ridiculous reason. The good news is it started now as the show's wrapping up, baby. The ugly cure for imposter syndrome. Yes, Ken Rideout on the Entrepreneur Experiment. He calls it BS. Petro, ears up. He says, feeling like a fraud, it just means you haven't put in the work yet. He rebuilt his life from being a complete mess by stepping into the ring, literally and figuratively. And he says, the cure isn't journaling. Ha. No, he says the cure is the reps. You either win or you get your ass kicked, but both give you the absolute truth. Good morning, Bernard. Good to see you out there, B-Drive. Our resident beekeeper, Bernard Artis, is out there in the community. Good to have you out there, Bernard. Competition is the only honest mirror you've got. So, guys, if you haven't looked in your mirror yet today, maybe that's the kick in the ass you need because, hey, stop romanticizing the struggle and do the work before you feel ready. That is the tip that Ken Rideout dropped, and he concludes by saying this. Discipline isn't a personality trait. No, it's a brutal daily decision. True story. Yes. All right. Oh, we got Scott Galloway. Yeah, he's also saying that Substack says that openly admits he didn't even become a man until his 40s, proving manhood is not earned through uncomfortable realizations, not just turning 18. Yes. He says that real strength is being kind and formidable, but cruel. It's about the responsibility to provide, protect, and build the code. Forget the grand gestures, guys. It's the garbage time with your kids that matters most. Yeah. Maya, speaking of the late bloomers, what is a painfully obvious life lesson that took you way too long to figure out? Maya Reyes.
That nobody actually cares if you fail. I spent my whole track career terrified of looking stupid, only to realize everyone is way too obsessed with their own highlight reel to even notice yours.
So Nation, if imposter syndrome is really just your untested ego trying to protect you, what's the one hit you're actively avoiding today?
Stop overthinking it and take the swing.
See you tomorrow, boys.
Claudia Slosarova, the truth about why women leave. Women usually do not leave all at once. They leave after safety, trust, and emotional consistency have been eroded for way, way too long. What a fascinating conversation we had with Claudia today on the show. She joined us for the full hour, guys, 8:30 to 9:30. We had a fun chat with her. We broke it up with a did you know about garlic. You want to go check that one out. Your audit. Why your excuses don't deduct. We talked about some life auditing here today as well. And guys, Brittany went to rehab. Yeah, she got a DUI a few weeks back. And this is not about celebrity gossip. It was about, it's about pressure. It's about avoidance. It's about untreated pain to do what we don't want to do when things get unchecked for far too long. So guys, if you keep ignoring what is breaking you, eventually it's going to stop staying private. So for a day, we talked about the life audit. Today's the same day where maybe we're going to audit our relationships and audit our life. Hey guys, sex stress relief only lasts one day. So if you're stressing out with your partner today, don't just go have sex and think it's all going to be better tomorrow. No, it doesn't work that way. All right. And in the morning focus, we talked about you can outgrow a version of love. Yes, you sure can. It's called change. Yeah, sure is. Hey, tomorrow. We're less than 22 hours. We got a bunch of good topics to get on the table. We're going to keep bringing this business forward. We're going to keep bringing the show forward. Yes, we are. Sullivan, I appreciate it, man. Absolutely. Good show here today with the center stage guests on relationships. And we got B-Drive here with there are many kinds of mirrors. All right, Nation, we'll see you guys in less than 24 hours. Where? Right here, mornings.live. Mornings in the lab with Keith, John, and friends. Of course, 7:30 Eastern time, we get started with Matt Roof. Tune in to Roofy, 7:30, and then come hang out with us, 8 o'clock. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, less than 22. Mornings in the lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's get out of here, Jimmy.